Apparently, NATO, the North Atlantic Trade Organization, including America, has come to see that there is no alternative to allowing Ukraine to use their own long-range weapons to fight Russia back, a thing that Vladimir Putin used to cow NATO, including America. But I haven't seen that Russia is not ready for ceasefire and dialogue for peace. With particular reference to Donald Trump, who came to power believing that Volodymyr Zelensky, the Ukrainian president, was the aggressor and the one that desired war or hungry for war. That was his anger against Zelensky. That was the accusation he leveled against Zelensky, and the whole world was surprised to say Russia has been and is the aggressor, saying that Ukraine has no right to belong to NATO. Whatever may be his fears is not to dictate to Ukraine as a sovereign nation. And I don't think that should change. They used to belong together as a Soviet Union, but that union became dismantled, and each nation that wanted to stay by itself became independent to have self-determination. Who is Putin to dictate to another nation what union it should join or not join? At the same time, it was surprising that NATO, including America, did not approach the situation as it should be approached, simply to tell Russia that any war against Ukraine on the basis of joining NATO is a war against NATO. As simple as that. So, otherwise, how do you say go ahead and fight Russia back without the wherewithal to do it? But now, the tide has changed. NATO, including America, is ready to supply Ukraine what she needs to fight back equitably, and not for Russia to be pounding Ukraine and be dragging its feet on ceasefire and dialogue for peace. So I commend NATO, including America, for finally deciding to do the needful so that Russia does not end up taking the whole world for granted, holding the whole world to ransom, which of course makes no sense. That would be an absurdity that Russia is holding the whole world to ransom. Russia wants to dictate which union a sovereign nation can belong to or not. Forget that America or any other country is doing it. It is wrong. It is not acceptable. And Canada has said the same thing to America. No, you will not annex us. You will not take away our independence. You will not neutralize our sovereignty. Canada has taken that decision, and America has not sent its army against Canada. Well, if it is because the world is getting wiser, fine. But neither should Putin and this Russia take the whole world for granted. And any nation trying to curtail the sovereignty of another nation should be deterred. So Russia should get the message and settle for peace. Because what is happening now, Russia should blame itself. Unfortunately, Putin is the arrowhead of this operation against Ukraine. Is the arrowhead, because there are many Russians who want peace, who don't think that Russia should be imposing her will on other nations, and we want Russia to be at peace with herself and with her neighbors. But there can be no peace where there's no justice. There can be no peace where one nation wants to lord it over another nation, which is what Russia is doing. Those who are trying to justify Russia, we say America is doing a similar thing or something. No. Two wrongs don't make a right. Even many wrongs cannot make a right. So whatever is not right is not right. So if you use your superiority to oppress others, to suppress others, to exploit others, is that justice? Might is not right. A thing has to be right or wrong, and it's not made right by being by having superior power. So NATO, including America, there should be no going back. Russia has the option of peace or war. And if it is war, if Putin is threatening nuclear power, is he the only one with nuclear power? Will Russia be spared of destruction? Sometimes death is preferable to shame. And that is the traditional saying of the Yoruba people. Ikú yá ju ẹ̀sín. Death is preferable to shame. Yes. Probably not always, so that you don't go and commit suicide. But at times, many people have committed suicide because they prefer death to shame. And we don't want Russia to commit suicide. But, and you see, the unfortunate thing is that look at what is happening in Gaza. There are many Gazans who don't think that Hamas should subject Gaza to the horror it is undergoing. And I've always been saying that Hamas should surrender to save Gaza. At least when there's peace, other things can follow. The issue of justice and so on. But what I'm saying here is that Putin does not mean he's carrying all Russians along. At least some Russians have suffered devastation in the ongoing war with Ukraine. Russia might have inflicted more destructions on Ukraine, more killings on Ukraine, but not that Russia is scot-free, suffering nothing. No, it has suffered destruction of some of its economies, many of its soldiers have been rounded up and eliminated in the war front. So what is he boasting about? So some Russians are not happy with what is happening. They want a peaceful Russia. And why not? You need peace for progress all over. In Nigeria, since 2009, the renegade rulers have been fighting the Boko Haram Muslim community, calling them terrorists, while they are the terrorists. Their terrorism evoked the terrorism of the Boko Haram, fighting for the injustice of trying to eradicate a community, saying the truth that haram is the albatross of Nigeria's development. So NATO and America, kudos. The whole world is with you. Any nation that does not want peace must not be allowed to have peace or to have its way to inflict destruction on others just for the fun of it. Yeah, just for the fun of it. Why must Russia insist on annexing Ukraine? Russia must give back all the lands of Ukraine that it has seized through warfare. It's not acceptable. Should not be.